So today, I wanted to just talk briefly, and I'll be really quick, about the three major fears that Lagos Matchmaker members have. So with all the whole matchmaking and everything, I find that people have different fears, like tribal, religion, but there are like three major ones that people do focus on. And so today, I'm going to talk about those three major fears. And to just let you know how sometimes, or most of the times, the fears are invalid. So the three major fears that I find Lagos Matchmaker members have is age, divorce, and children. So age, meaning that a lot of people have that fear of a guy dating older or a lady dating younger. And divorce, many people are like still having fears about divorce status, of getting a match with someone that has been divorced. And third one, children. People still have that fear of being matched with someone that has children. So I'm going to explain each fear to you and tell you how they're very invalid. So the first fear, age. Age has three fears, because we always tell people, when you say I don't want to date younger, it's not that you just don't want to date younger at the age-wise. It's because you have an expectation for what a particular age should be like. So when you see a lady that says I don't want to date above 50, it's because she expects that 50 is this and that's the reason why. The fear of age is just based on your expectation of people that age. So what guys expect a younger person is like, or an older person, and the same way for women. The three fears under age, the first one is they feel like the older or younger person would have character issues, and the second one is that the older or the younger person might have a certain look, and the third one is that the older or younger person might not be open to children as what they expect. So the first one is the older having character issues. A lot of ladies feel like an older guy will be too strict and they can't joke around and play with him. And we've had a situation like that. And then we matched her with that older person because she wanted someone younger. And he ended up being really playful, because obviously situations like that happen all the time. You find an older person that's so much more playful than a younger person, because the ability to play or wanting to play is not age-based. It's not like, oh, every 20-year-old plays like this and every 50-year-old plays like this. It's not age-directed. And then the second one is that the older will have a certain look. So you find a lot of ladies that are like, oh, I don't want an older guy because he might look in this way or that way, and a lot of guys say that too. But through experience, we've seen that that's definitely not the issue at all. So there was a match, and then once she saw his picture, she was shocked because he's older, but he's like so well built, so she didn't expect it at all. And it's been the other way too for ladies. You find a lady that's way above the age you would expect, and she looks really hot. I mean, look at J-Lo. So there are lots of ladies and guys that don't fit that whole physical appearance that you expect. And the third one is being open to children. That's definitely not age-wise, so there are lots of different reasons, but people are open to children, and it's not based on what age they are. So it's not something that you should say, oh, is this lady open to children? Is this guy open to children, based on their age? And then the second one is divorced. So that's like the marital status, right? So the three fears under divorce, because I mentioned age has three fears. So the three fears under divorce, the first one is people always feel like the ex-spouse might make a comeback. This rarely happens, in all situations, because most of the time when people come and say I'm signing up for this service, it's because they have moved on. So I haven't even seen a situation where the ex-spouse has made a comeback. So that fear is kind of invalid in that sense. And then another reason is that some people feel like, they have that fear like, oh, could you have been the reason for the divorce? Could you be an unreasonable person? But forgetting, people say I don't want someone that was divorced. I want someone that was never married. Forgetting that this person that was divorced was once never married. So the person you're choosing that's never married then has the potential for being divorced, right? Because everyone at one point in their life, was actually never married. Okay, another thing from people that have been divorced is that they even tend to make the second marriage work better, because they've been experienced and they realize that marriage takes a bit more effort. So you're actually more likely to kind of make it work a second time, right? And then the third fear under the divorce is the fact that people feel like if someone has been divorced, they would have this fear towards any commitment because of their past experience. And this isn't necessarily the case. Most times I find that it's the person that's never been married to a certain age that has that fear, but people that have actually been divorced have actually been open to commitment, and that's why they got married in the first place anyway. So I don't think it takes the status to show if someone is afraid of commitment or not. Yes, your situation might change things, but I don't think that's what makes a person. So the third one is children. So the children fear also has three, like the age and the divorce. So with children, it's three as well. So the first one, people always have this fear for financial burden. They feel like with children come school fees and everything, and that will be automatically put on them. But they fail to realize that this person has been taking care of these bills before you came in. So obviously there was a way they were sorting themselves out. You coming into their life doesn't change that. So it's open to you to want to do that or not. So the other fear for children is that the possibility of not being accepted. People are like, you're not my mom, you're not my dad. I've seen that in movies. In real life, I've not heard that a lot. So I think it's pretty easy on how you treat a person or a child, and they accept you. And based on how you treat their parents too, I guess, that's kind of a given. And the third one is the fear of being unable to discipline the child. So I've had a guy say, oh no, I don't think I'll be able to discipline someone's child, or she might be like this or that, and that's another fear anyway. So all these fears are just reasons why people might say no to a certain thing. And I want to tell you that this fear is not valid all the time. And the major fear that covers all this fear is when you've had experience in that situation. So if you dated someone that was older and he was too strict, you're likely to think everyone older will be strict. And so I feel like even with the divorce part, the fear, if you've had an experience with a divorced person and they really weren't ready to commit, that's where it comes from as well. And even with the children part, if you dated someone with kids and you couldn't discipline the child, or they didn't, weren't accepting to you, or you felt like there was a lot of financial burden. So that's why I said that fear covers all fears when you've had the personal experience in that level. But then again, every situation is different. So even if you had that experience, the next person you date with that same status, age or divorce or with kids, could definitely be very different from that other person, because everyone is different. So those are the three fears that I feel a lot of Lagos Matchmaker members have, and I feel like it's invalid because most of the time it doesn't pan out. Hopefully that short video has helped you understand that these are the three major fears Lagos Matchmaker members have. And I don't think it's valid all the time, because some of we've matched you with the age you didn't want and it worked out. We've matched you with the status you didn't want and it worked out. The recent one you saw, he just didn't want children to be matched with anyone with kids, and you saw the testimonial. So sometimes we match you with something that you don't want because you have that fear, but you don't exactly know why you have that fear, or it's not pinned down. And when you see that that fear isn't real, when you meet someone that's different and that fear isn't real, you actually, it's just something different. So anyway, so those are the three major fears: the age, the divorce part, and having children. So any other questions anyone has about this video or any other video, just let me know in the comment section, or any other topic, and we can talk about it.